Can you do a 90-day supply of stimulants? So, again, the mental health system and our healthcare system, we do some really unusual, sometimes dumb things that don't really make any sense. This is one of those areas where I'm not quite sure what happened. So, the DEA, so the Drug Enforcement Agency, is in control and in charge of any of the scheduled medicines. And so, if you look back at some of our past episodes, you can learn all about that stuff. So here's the issue: is it with some of our past with stimulant medications. One of the rules is that you can only get a 30-day supply at a time. So, in other words, we want to make sure that people are using those responsibly because they do have abuse and diversion potential. Diversion is the fancy legal term for a medicine going not to the person that is prescribed to, but to someone else. And so we want to cut down on diversion because diversion means that there are lots of folks who are getting exposed to medicines and chemicals that they don't need. Okay. So the DEA controls that, and the DEA controls the rules. And so the DEA said you can only do 30 days at a time. So as you can imagine, because we're a practice that works with lots of kids and lots of people who have ADHD, it's super super hard and time consuming to have them come back in every single month to get a prescription, and that's what we used to do. So as close as like 5 years ago, we literally would handwrite every single prescription, and we would predate prescriptions so that you had to take them in the order that we predated them. And it was a lot of work. And we had to have, like, we literally hired staff just to manage all this stuff. You would come up and you'd pick up a prescription, you had to show your ID, you pick up the prescription, you sign it out, and it was a big deal. Well, these electronic medical records came on the scene, and as part of the electronic medical record, you could start to do electronic prescribing of controlled substances. The greatest thing ever. Well, um, but they still restrict you to 30 days. And so that's why, for the majority of the people that we see even now, we will ask our patients, hey, when you're 5 days out from running out of your medicine, please give us a heads up so that then we can refill your medicine. And it doesn't take too terribly long to do it electronically, but we don't know when you run out of your medicine. And so there's no good way for us to keep track of that system. So instead, we ask our patients to do it. Well, there's some loophole somewhere, and I still don't quite know where it is, where I am sometimes able to send in a 90-day supply to a mail order pharmacy. And I don't know how that works, but we've done it multiple times. And yeah, the insurance company covers it, and they mail it to your house, and you sign for it, and you have a 90-day supply of a stimulant. Now let's add even more weirdness to it. I've also seen at least one local pharmacy that filled a 90-day prescription for stimulants. So even though technically you're not supposed to be able to do that, from everything I've seen, I have. It's been done, and so how to fix that, how to make that more fair and transparent, I don't know. Honestly, it's one of those things where I'd probably start if you have commercial or prescription insurance. I'm going to encourage you to start there because they have to cover it. And yeah, but I've never seen a direct pay, cash pay person be able to get a 90-day supply of a stimulant from a pharmacy. I just haven't seen that because the pharmacist always has the right to refuse to fill any prescription. And when most pharmacists see a 90-day prescription for stimulant, that raises a red flag for them. So they tend not to fill those. So yeah, so I just throw that out there to you. I don't really know why that happens, and yeah, it's kind of unusual.